everyone who have assembled here for the Saturday Satsang on behalf of Sri Aurobindo Society, Chennai branch. We welcome you all. Today we have with us Madam Sujatha Pati, who is running her center, Sri Aurobindo Center in Brahmansuku, that is in Odisha. She is a former student of the Ashram School and has been in the service of spreading the message of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother in her in remote area for the last 3 decades. Welcome, Madam Sujatha Pati. And today she is going to speak on a very challenging subject, that is the role of parents for new age. I welcome Madam Sujatha Pati and I ask her to take over the forum. Madam, please. In fact, we are in a bookstall. That's why there was some disturbance. I'm
Okay.
speaking from our bookstall. We have put up a bookstall in our Chennai book fair. I'm
Okay.
speaking from the stall only. That's why there was some disturbance.
Okay. Uh, Namaste to all. My heartfelt gratitude and pranam to the Divine Mother and pranam to the mother's children present in this online session. Here also we are having most of the time this network issues. Let's see today what's happening. Okay. Then should we start our session now?
Yeah, madam, you have to adjust your camera a little lower.
Oh, is it okay?
Now it's fine. Now it's fine. Now it's fine. You keep it like that only. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, is it okay now? So today we are going to discuss on the role of parents for the new age. So before discussing about the role, so before discussing about the role, let us discuss first in short or briefly what is the new age. Although we are going to focus more on the role of the parents. So what is this new age we are speaking about? In the process of evolution, the time has come now. In this process of evolution, now the time has come. The world will awaken, Mother said, the world will awaken to new consciousness. So the present age is ending and a new age is approaching, as we know. So what will be the difference between the present age and the future or the new age? So Mother said, this civilization, which is ending now, was based on the power of mind. So the mind that dealt with, we know, the mind always dealt with matter and life. But the new reign which is approaching, it will deal with the spirit. And the is life through reason. But this new race will be governed by their intuition. That will be the normal process. Now we have to do some exercise. Now we have to practice to activate the intuitive mind. And as you know, to accelerate this process of is now working in different levels. Mother also, not only that, mother also convinced the mother nature to collaborate in this work. So we can see we are in a period of transition. That an age is going, old civilization is going, and new civilization will arrive. So as night is ever dark before the dawn, similarly, this ignorance and falsehood seems to be in the full swing now. So, but at the same time, an ardent hope is awakened within man, in the heart of man, for a beautiful and harmonious future. So we are fortunate enough to witness this age, but we just can't sit still and wait for the means where to have a role to play, just sitting still. So mother said, the world is preparing for a big change. Will you help? So now we can just discuss that what sort of help we can do to the divine, who is the all doer, all manifest, the creator of the universe. What help she needs from us? The one thing it is most required is to let her force at the supramental force is also her, the divine force, mother's force. So to let her force act uninterruptedly for this transformation. It should act within us, around us, uninterruptedly. So we should allow the force to act. We should be that receptive. So this preparation is not only for ourselves, but most important part is to prepare the coming generations who will be more and more closer to the new age. So for this, parents have a most crucial role to play. So this role can be we can just divide it into three phases, three parts. One is before bringing down the soul to the womb, what sort of preparation? A preparation should be required for the mother and for both for the parents. And second, the prenatal or the during pregnancy, that period. And third is after birth. Although they are quite interrelated, so we must know that giving birth and looking after the basic need of the children, to protect them and teaching them to walk, eat, etc., and then after a certain age sending them to a good school for education is not at all enough role for the parents. Why? Because animals also do the same thing. They also give birth to the children, to the kids. Then they also feed them. They also teach them. They are also protective, and they're more protective than us. And we must have observed how violent they become when we go near their little ones. So they're also more patient while teaching their babies to walk, jump, etc., fly, etc. So what is the difference between man and animals in bringing up the child? Animals do it by instinct, ignorance, and they are moreover like machine like. So, but man is conscious. The difference is they're instinctive, ignorant, and more machine-like. And man is conscious. He may do good or bad, right or wrong, but he knows what he is doing. He's conscious or aware of the thing he's doing. Then, what should be the true role of the parents? If this is not the role, then what is the true role of the parents, especially who want to prepare their children for the new age? In the first phase, as you see, before bringing the soul into the womb, that stage, the parent must consciously, with an aspiration, call for the soul, which would be type of the highest ideal we are able to conceive, because we, our highest ideal is something based on the past experience, and all these things happen. So that's the mother said, yes, we are able to conceive. That's why she said that is the real necessity for having the knowledge regarding this new age and new species, mother said. So one should know first what is that new age, which is what is going to arrive, and what are the symptoms of the new species. So that our highest ideal will be accordingly. If we'll have the idea, of course, we'll make that idea that what how our child should be, what ideal we should keep for the coming for the new child. So the role of a mother, especially a woman, is precisely most important. That is that share precise it in the present worldwide work as said by the mother. No, that is the most important thing she can share in the work which is going on worldwide now. Without our being conscious, unconscious, nothing to worry about, but the work is going. But when we are conscious about it, we can go move faster. In Japan, this maternity was considered as the principal role of women. Why? Because children are the hopes for the future. They are the living promise of growing prosperity for the country. Therefore, the most important work assigned to women in Japan is child making. So let's see if for the just for the material growth and prosperity development, children are given so much importance. Then just think when the time has come for a total transformation, total change, a total transformation of one's nature, means a physical nature, matter, physical, vital, mental, everything will be a total transformation will be there. Then, and for the psychic to rule over them, how much more responsibility we owe to them for the children. So we have to teach them. We have to see the growth of their physical, mental, and vital, all these things, and also their spiritual growth, which is the most important part of their life. So the first thing we need to be, as mother says, first the father and mother should, I'm reading out what mother has said, her lines, her writings. First, the father and mother should know the possibility of a child being more than just an animal man. So they must want their child to be more than this animal man, the possibility, the highest possibility he should have. They should see this. Secondly, the conception should take place entirely outside of desire. And that's another very difficult condition to be fulfilled, mother says. Then she says, throughout the carrying state, means the period of gestation, the mother should be in an atmosphere absolutely protected from all degrading influences. She should be in an ideally beautiful and harmonious place where the life would be free from all vulgarities. That is most important thing. And just we can see, but now what we are doing at this stage, We are listening to all sorts of vulgar music, seeing vulgar movies, vulgar books. All these things degrades the possibilities which a child will be is carrying with him. It will degrade all these things within the means in the that carrying period. So that's the mother said. Mother said we should live in such a place that must be ideally beautiful, harmonious, where the life would be free from all vulgarities, and she should be protected from all the degrading influences. That is most important. Next, she says the mother herself, the mother means the child's mother, self should have the idea of the new child. Ideal, sorry, should have the ideal of the new child. That means that ideal, expect the ideal which we expect from our child, that same thing that expecting the mother herself should have that same ideal. So what happens? So what happens is when the child comes to the world, one does not have to take much trouble in teaching them or to frame them into that ideal. This shouldn't be done mechanically, but as conscious willed thing. It should be done as we are trying to progress ourselves, and that is spontaneously this thing will just affect the child. They will put influence on the child. Now the third phase, when the child after the birth of the child, when the child takes birth, it's again a great responsibility for the parents. The education starts immediately after birth, but to educate a child, the parents should be a living example for the child. They should take care over all his from the very childhood. They should take care of all the growth of the child, his physical growth, mental growth, and vital growth. Everything should be taken care of. But mostly we see that the conscious parents are sure. I'm sure they must be taking care, and now gradually the people are becoming more and more conscious. But mostly, in sometimes we see that the parents think they can do whatever they like, but they expect the child to be perfect. That is a very a thing which should not be encouraged, and that should be avoided, because we have seen people smoking and drinking outside the house. Why? Because if my child will see, then he'll also copy me. So they know that they are doing the mistake, but still they're trying to hide it away from their children. But what happens is that creates an impact on the subtle level on the child. So that we should understand. Moreover, the children are keen observers, and we just cannot skip anything from their sight. So once what happened? A teacher came to a student's house. Just while taking a walk, he just entered their house, and seeing that child's mother immediately said, "Oh, this father is not there. Father is not in the house." She thought he might have come for some collection of money or something like that. Then no, he's not there. Then the teacher said, "No, I'm just passing on that way, so I came to see you people, see you all." Then the mother started complaining about the studies of the child. He's not studying any time and all these things, as usually their parents do. Then the boy said, "No, no, I'm studying in that time. When study hour, I'm studying." So the mother said, "No, no, he's telling lie." Immediately, the boy interrupted that, "Wow, who is telling lie? I or you? Father is sleeping in the bedroom, and he's there in the bedroom, and we are saying that father is not at home." So they are keenly observing whatever we are doing. They observe everything very minutely. We just cannot escape their observations, cannot escape their sight. So now the second thing, giving them This is one thing. We should be an example of what we want the children to be. Then, second thing, giving them scope and guide them to develop their abilities and for spontaneous growth. And we should guide them for the spontaneous growth. We mostly block their spontaneity by giving them pressure, not on what they like, on what we want them to be, to fulfill our desire. I couldn't be a dancer, so I tell my daughter to be a dancer. So I like painting. So if my daughter likes it or not, but daughter son, he has to do that. So we just give them pressure and we block their spontaneity. So the great the age of the spirit. So the spiritual growth, the spiritual age we can give them is to help them to discover the psychic being and make them connected to the mother. But nowadays we see the most parents try the mother, they should love the mother. So somewhere of that sort. But somewhere in the depth they have a sort of insecurity that the child should not go exclusively for divine work. But we see that when somebody goes, we really praise them. We praise the others. But and also have seen that when we see the sadhus, sannyasis, that we praise others and we do respect them. But if our children, they they say that they would be in, they choose the path of that sannyasi or sadhu, they would be the parents would be in horror. So if their son or daughter choose the divine life, so that line, so they just they become very much worried for that. Same case is happening also now. We want that my child should love the mother. She should be should respect he or she should respect mother. Everything. But if she chooses to go exclusively for the divine's work, we tell many things. Why you can go also, you can do your job, and with that you can do go for this. You can get married, and both of you can serve the mother. All these things we start telling them. I'm not going in detail all for these things, but these things are happening. Even when the even coming out of the barrier, if the child out of his previous life's experience or etc., she chooses, we put pressure upon them, and this type of things, as I said, just discussed now, just so and so we go and try to convince them, guide them in our own way. So the freedom is the most important part the child requires. Then only his learning and his decision making will be spontaneous. Once one mother was there in her physical body, a small girl was admitted to the school and stayed in the boarding, and she was very much attached to the boarding guardian over there. So after, but that time his mother, her parents were least bothered about her, and they had their second issue also at by the time. So they didn't even come to see her or no connection absolutely. So about 4 or 5 years after, they came to see her, and suddenly then they found that their daughter was much attached to others than to them. So that shocked them, and this they decided to take her back. So she cried and cried. She didn't want to go. She asked everyone, please help me, please help me. And everyone tried to convince the parents, but absolutely the father was so rigid, was no. She is not going, she doesn't have any love for us, so we should take her away. And mother also tried to explain these parents, but they did not listen. And by force, they took her away. So mother was really annoyed. Even that boy, their second issue, it was a son. His birthday was there that day, and they went to see mother, and they offered some money to mother for the offering, but mother refused it. She was so annoyed. And they said, what do they think? By this, by doing this, they would get the love of the child? Absolutely not. So this is the thing. No, we just close their freedom. We don't give them freedom. So mother says, if the parents want to be loved by their children, first they should love. They should be concerned about their children. What did these parents do? So this is the thing. So we don't give them the freedom for their inner growth. Now the next point is parents should provide a spiritual atmosphere for the children. Speaking of the point, I have most of the parents say we should not pressurize the children for spirituality. You know, in fact, who says to pressurize? First thing, can we not just speak to them about mother's love, her protection, or tell them the good stories and life of the mother? Tell them or just make them a habit from the childhood to sit in front of the mother's photo and smile at her and tell her everything what is going within the child. So when the children grows, and we can just suggest them also to join us in the discussion of mother of the in reading of mothers and children's books, or give them to some nice books to read. No, we won't tell them all these things, but we can force them for coaching classes, karate classes, dance class, or whatever. Even if the child is not interested, we can force them. We just force them. So from the very childhood, we should give them these practices and make them aware of their true aim of life. So another role the parents make their children another role their parents should have, that to make their children fearless and courageous. And the most important courage, the most difficult courage, is to speak the truth. As we know, Vibhishan, he knew that Ravan wouldn't like his suggestion, but still he gave his advice to Ravan, his elder brother, to give back Sita to Ram. What did Ravan do? He just kicked him out of his court. So even by knowing that, he had that moral courage to face anger of Ravan by saying truth. So this is the moral truth one should learn. But what happens usually when the children are small, when they confess their mistake, parents usually give them a slap or scold them or give them punishment. So then what happens? He just then start hiding his mistake and telling lie. And once you tell lie means to justify that lie, you go on telling more lies. So that is another thing. And moreover, the thing that is moral courage, but the thing which we fear, some children fear for the darkness, so, and some people fear for water, to go into the water and fire, all these things. So whatever we fear, we should face them boldly. Then only we can get out of fear. In Japan, what they used to teach to the children, like they will ring the bell of the no that fire brigade bell, and the children will run to just run with the bucket of water and all these things. So they they teach them to face the situation, not to escape from the situation. So they should be taught to be fearless and courageous. Now, another point, we should, whatever mistakes we see the child doing in their childhood, we should immediately try to correct them and tell them the consequence, what will happen if he goes on doing this. Hmm. One example I'll give, one short story, that a thief was a big thief actually, not only a thief, he was sentenced to death. So when he was asked about his last wish, he said, I want to see my mother. So the mother who was crying outside was called in. And when she came, the thief called her near him. And the mother thought her son wants to speak something about something. So she went near him, and her son just came close to her ear, brought his mouth to his ear, to her ear, and she was also showing her ear that he might say something secretly or something like that. Then what happened is, suddenly the boy, that thief, just bit her mother's ear and said, "This is your punishment. Today you are crying." Then her mother screamed with pain. Everyone said, "What happened? Why did you do that?" Then he said, "This is the punishment I wanted to give to my mother, because whatever is happening today is due to her. When in childhood, when I was reading in class 1 or something, I stole a pencil from my friend and brought home. She just smiled. Then I was encouraged. Then gradually I started stealing or other things. Then gradually when I grew up, I started stealing bigger things. And finally I became a big thief. If from that first day, that very beginning, she would have told me not to do that and should have told me about the consequence, I would never have done that. I would have stopped doing that. I would have gone in a better way. So this is the fault of my mother. So this is the thing. When we see anything, we must explain them the consequence. And especially when we see that whatever they're doing, it is taking them out of mother's protection. And especially when it is taken them away from the soul's discovery. So it should never be, those things should never be encouraged. And another thing, they should be told to find good friends, to choose good friends. And my mother said, I know some bright students, some bright children who had so much of possibilities, but they were spoiled by this company of bad friends. So that also we have to take care. We have to see what type of friends he is having. We can call their friends also sometimes, so that we can meet them and see how they are. Exactly, this type of things also we should take care of. Then we must develop the power of imagination. And we know Mother has said imagination has such a great power. Whatever we imagine if we imagine through fear, that same thing will come to us. Whatever thing we fear, that will happen to us. So we should not imagine anything pessimist, anything, what will what will take us away from the mother, what will put us into the hands of the hostile. Because fear is the greatest weapon of the hostile to make us their instrument. So so through imagination, through fear also we have got bad imaginations also. So we should learn to use our imagination in good, better way. So we should also tell our children how to develop their imaginations, to read good books, to show them good pictures, to tell them all that is beautiful and harmonious, to tell them about the new race which is coming, new age which is coming, and to imagine about that, to imagine mother's smile, to imagine mother's protection, to imagine mother is with her, to the, mother's, mother is with her, with them, and their presence, with mother's presence. All these sorts of imagination we can develop with the child. We can tell them, close your eyes and imagine this. And in this way, we can just develop the power of imagination. We shouldn't let them even, especially when the children grow up, this they have a certain pull, that instinctive pull, we can say, pull for the bad things, for the negative things, and we should be very careful to be aware of it. So these things also we should try to make them, practice all these things. And the most important part is they should have, you know, the gift we can give them is they should have the interest for learning, to know more and more. If that interest is created in them, nothing can stop them from progressing. Then we can say something and they want to know, will want to know more and more. And now everything is available over online and over net. So they can go for this text, mother's text, and they can see what mother has written about it, what Sri Aurobindo has written about it. If one reads Sri Aurobindo, mother said, she'll know everything, whatever question is having, she'll know it. So we must create the interest to learn. And the beautiful thing that we can give them is always to have a connection with the mother. As you say, how to practice, we have already discussed. And that will protect them. I always tell when we go to the village, different villages, and we speak to their mother thing. To tell them, if your child is playing outside, if he calls you, is playing some 1 kilometer away. If he calls you, can you hear her? Can you hear your child? Who will protect him in that way? They said, no, mother will protect them. So I just give an example also. Once a lady was just feeding the baby, sitting and feeding the baby with spoon, putting the baby on her lap. So, and her mother-in-law, was working in the kitchen. And what happened? Through the terrace staircase, But when just she said, Ma, that dog turned away and again peacefully just again climbed up the staircase and went away. And the way she happens to tell to her, and she'll take care of you. And whatever negative things you have, whatever things you have to reject, you aspire. Whatever you are doing, you surrender to her. And whenever you have any difficulties, just say her name, and she will be with you. As I am calling your name and you are coming to me, similarly, when you call mother, mother will take care of you. Mother will come with you and she will guide you. Like we all know the story of the Gopal who was accompanied by Krishna to his school. And he called Krishna and Gopal. That small boy's mother said, if you are afraid of the forest of the night, you can call your brother Gopal. So she believed, and he called his brother Gopal, and Gopal came, and he used to leave him to the school. And once in Guru Jayanti, Guru Divas, everyone gifted something to their Guru, but Gopal had nothing to gift. So when he asked his brother Krishna, son, That boy asked. So his brother said, okay, you take this little pot of milk. So he took the milk and that little boy and gave it to the guru. Just guru ignored it. Okay, give it to the kitchen, to the cook, he said. The cook took it. But miraculously, what happened? Whenever when it is pouring that milk to another vessel, that vessel is full. Again, he poured it to another vessel. That began full, and the milk was not finished. The milk was again coming up and up. So he told it to the guru, and guru said, from whom did you bring this? From where did you get this?" That boy said, "My brother Gopal gave me," and said, "Can you show me to him? Show him to me." Sorry. So he said, "Okay, you come with me." And when they went and we asked, he called Bhaiya, means like, "Brother, please come. My guru wants to see you." He did not come. Only his flute could be heard. So just in short, I told the story. So it is the matter of faith. So we should create the faith in our children for the mother. So from the very childhood, if we can create it, that will be long lasting and that will go on increasing. The faith will be increased day by day. So that is the most important gift we can give to our children, and we can help them to go for the new age, to prepare them for the new age. So that is all. And hope it was audible.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, madam. Any questions there you can ask, please. Yes, yes, madam.
Good evening, Sujata madam.
Good
Thank you
evening.
for the sweet talk. Whenever I listen this about the role of parents, I always wish I know all this beforehand, because now I have grown up children, but it's not late. We can always become a role model to them. Every day, even we are growing as a parent. Also, we are growing. And in the beginning of the talk, only you said so sweetly, world will awaken to the mother's consciousness, and even though falsehood and ignorance will be more, an ardent hope is awakened in men. That was so soothing and very encouraging. And you said, allow the force to act and be receptive. Thank you for that. It was so beautifully said. And the true role of parents, living example for the children. That's very true. Even as a parents, we are still growing. Still, after coming to mother, we understand our flaws in a better way and trying to rectify it. It's an everyday learning. And the examples, what you said, to be fearless and courageous and beautiful and harmonious imagination and face the situation, not to escape from situation. Those all were very nice, very useful, very beautiful, madam. And in the end, sweetly, one thing you said, our universal mother can hear us from anywhere and everywhere, and she can respond to us immediately. That was the great. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other views people would like to share? Thank you, Sujata, madam. Thank you. In fact, whenever we ask you, you readily agree, and heart. And in fact, I have seen that whatever you have spoken, you have practiced in your life. I saw these kind of qualities in your daughter because I know your daughter well. I know how she was brought up. Whatever you have spoken here, you have practiced. Your daughter is a living example of whatever you have spoken, and you have spoken about conscious parenting. That is before conception, during conception, and then once a child is born. I think it is these things mother has spoken about this conscious parenting, and unfortunately, what happened? It's not. People are not aware of it. They go to the doctor. Go doctor once they conceive for prenatal checkup, but they forgot to take care of the child in womb, because the education starts even before conception. That's what the mother says. So, in fact, this message has to reach across the people, young parents. Uh, Very valuable this thing, and you have spoken about so many things, so many good things. How to encourage your child to speak the truth, how to encourage them to be fearless, how to encourage them to have faith in the divine, and how to help the soul in the child to flower instead of forcing our own views. All these things, each point is a precious point. You have covered very nice, very valuable information, very salient points you have covered. We thank you very much. I wish I would, at least if not now, at least people would listen to your video, especially the young parents, so that whatever children, what the children they bring out, they will collaborate. What the mother has asked, collaborating with the new consciousness. So the children, the sun-eyed children of the marvelous dawn, that Savitri in Savitri Sri Aurobindo says, the sun-eyed children of the marvelous dawn. That should be, we should bring such kind of children for the future. Children should be like that. Thank you very much, Sujata madam. Thank you very much. Please, we look forward to more such satsangs, more such satsang talks from you. Thank you very much. And now the